What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over 5 of the most complimented fragrances, or just recently complimented fragrances in my collection. I do work around a lot of people, so it just happens to be that I get a lot of compliments. And then for the new video backdrop, it's only temporary for maybe a few days before it goes back into my closet with my fragrance collection to then back into my other my other room where I have my setup. It's just due to family coming over. So we're in the middle of cleaning one room. The fiance sleeping in the other room. So I'm not gonna do it in the closet. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it in my kitchen. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. This is gonna be a new release from this year. It's my favorite release so far of this year. It's gonna be Acqua di Gio Elixir, which I'm gonna have to tilt the bottle like that just so you can see the reflection. But yeah, it's my favorite Acqua di Gio. It's really fresh, even though it's an elixir. It's one of the most fresh elixirs that I've smelled, at least with everything that's come out elixir wise. They went their own way and they kind of went towards fresh, which is, you expect it to be in a black bottle, painted black, to be a darker scent compared to all their other scents, but no, it's Acqua di Gio. Just, it seems like better ingredients. I don't normally love violet leaf, but I love it in this fragrance. I'm not the biggest fan of Fahrenheit. I say it every time I talk about this just because people correlate the two, but trust me, if you hate Fahrenheit, you probably will still enjoy this fragrance if you get your nose on it. I hope you guys can't hear this truck in the background. Hopefully this mic was a good investment. Outside, I guess the trash truck is going about. But yeah, next is going to be a fragrance that I don't really wear too much, but I was getting complimented like crazy. I think yesterday? No, 2 days ago when I wore this fragrance. Maybe 3 days ago. But if you saw my weekly rotation video, you would know what I'm talking about. And it was Dior Homme 2020. So this is I've had it in my collection twice now. I sold my first bottle of it. And it's one of those when you're selling a fragrance, of course you're gonna get the most amount of compliments when you already sold it. So it's one of those that you want to give it one last spray before it goes. Sprayed it on that day, and then my fiance was like, "You smell amazing." So I was like, I sold it. I sold it already. Keep in mind, I've worn it a few times before she gave me that compliment, but that was a few months ago, maybe like about a year ago. And then purchased it recently again, maybe gave it like 1 or 2 wearings. Wore it to work like 3 or 4 days ago, and this was a compliment machine. I thought I was nose blind to it. Well, I wasn't sure if it was performance or if I went nose blind to it. I was just assuming it was nose blind, but I got about 5 compliments, which it's, getting close to Imagination. So Imagination is probably my most complimented fragrance. But this is pretty much up there with how many compliments I got that day. And it was a pretty short amount of time in between compliments, but then there was like a big gap towards the end of my day, which is like 10 hours. And I got a compliment towards the end of my day. So there's actually one of the compliments, or just one of the people that commented about my fragrance, was about the longevity or the performance or projection. I believe he said it was like 10 meters. And then some of you guys had told me how much 10 meters is. I think you guys said it was like 2.5 meters per foot, or 2.5 feet per meter, or something like that. I think it was like 2.5 or maybe 3.5. So it was like a 25 to 35 foot projection with 5 sprays on, by the way. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I didn't expect it to be performing like that. I thought it was like barely all coming off of me, or if not, just normal sillage. But yeah, it's a sleeper, I guess. Then it's one that's known for its projection, longevity, And performance, it's gonna be Mancera's Cedrat Boise. I wasn't sure if I included it in my last video of compliments, but this is the last time, or maybe the last 2 times I wear this fragrance, I've gotten compliments. It's also a Mancera fragrance, so I limit it to more like 3 or 4 sprays, depending on what it's, what the weather's like. So this is a little bit fresher, so I did believe I went with 4 sprays maybe. And I got a few compliments at work. Some people say it smells close or similar to Aventus. I don't think this fragrance and Aventus are that similar at all. I think they're 2 different fragrances. I don't know if I could even kind of see. I feel like there's some kind of like vanilla note or something, like a powdery note. I get more powdery from Cedrat Boise. I don't really get that from Aventus. I think they're 2 different fragrances though. But yeah, Cedrat Boise, definitely a good one. Cheap one. This is gonna be the cheapest one in this video. And then the last 2 are gonna be pretty similar, and I guess it's kind of starting to become my signature scent. I'll explain why in a second after I talk about these 2 fragrances, but it's gonna be Mephisto. So Mephisto, brought it on my trip to Florida. So my brother liked it, my dad liked it, my mom loved it, my sister really liked it. And I was pretty much only around them. But yeah, my fiance loves this fragrance as well. Every time I wear this, she always has something to say about it. And of course, I got the 30 ml just because I got it pretty cheap, and I just I pulled the trigger because I was like, if it's really redundant for Silver Mountain, 2 Silver Mountain water, then I don't really need another big version of this fragrance. But it's different enough for me to have, or just to want a bigger bottle of this whenever I run out eventually. I do own the Gentle Uomo version of it now, but I'm preferring this one as of right now. Really nice scent. It's like the easier wear. If you're not if you like Silver Mountain water, but you wish it was an easier wear, even though I don't think it's that difficult to wear. If you just wish it was less inky, I would probably go with Mephisto. But yeah, it's a really good scent. Enough for my mom to ask me what the name of the fragrance was. Think about your mom asking you exactly what the name of the fragrance is, and to show her, because she's that interested. I'm not sure if she's gonna buy it for my dad, or she was just really curious. But yeah, I showed her the bottle, showed her, Mephisto by Xerjoff. I'm not too sure what she's gonna do with that information, but yeah, if it's enough for my mom to like something that much. My mom's not really the biggest fan of fragrances either. She's more like, if there's a fragrance, she likes it like really light, like barely even there. So for her to love this is kind of surprising, just because it's not a weak projection, not a weak projector at all. It's like one of those good blends of, if you have like 4 or 5 sprays on, you have a good projection going, but it's also not like punching somebody in the nose. It's kind of like you're picking it up as you move and all that stuff. So I think that makes a fragrance smell better when you're not punching somebody in the nose. But that's just my opinion. I know some people just want to be smelled from 20 feet away, and those people are probably putting Dior Homme 2020 in their carts right now. And then lastly, it's my scent of the day, and it's kind of why I decided to make this video, just because I haven't made a compliments video in quite a bit. It's gonna be Silver Mountain water. This was my scent of the day. And as you can see, I was wearing a white shirt today. And it was about, I think it got up to 82 degrees today, so I needed something light. And I also need to make a video about the 3 fragrances that smell pretty similar, which is Silver Mountain water, Mephisto, and Mephisto Gentle Uomo. So decided to wear this one today. So haven't worn it in a while, and I got like 4 compliments today, I think it was, just based off this fragrance. It's been, what time is it right now? It's 5:30 in the morning right now. I got to work at 5:30 in the morning, so I mean 5:30 p.m. So I sprayed this on around 4:30, maybe earlier, maybe 4:15 before I left for work. And I could still smell it. I did put 6 sprays on this fragrance on today. But yeah, I was getting compliments today with this fragrance. So it's a fragrance DNA that a lot of people enjoy. This is a tester, which is why I don't have the cap. But yeah, so now to talk about why this is slowly becoming my DNA. I wore this one a lot. I think, I don't even know if I could see what level this is on right now. All right, so level-wise, this bottle is about right here. So I got a pretty decent dent. I didn't actually know that I had that big of a dent in this bottle. I guess moving it around, I can kind of feel it. Then I have this that I've worn a lot for the last few weeks, Mephisto. And then now I have Mephisto Gentle Uomo, that also is kind of in the same field. Kind of, for my one wearing, it feels like the furthest from this, but it's still similar. But yeah, when my fiance got home today, I wasn't home. I guess this was still lingering in the air. She was like, "It smelled like you," when I got home. Normally, it's not it smelled like you. It's more normally like you sprayed too much cologne on. So I guess this is slowly becoming my signature scent, which is not what I would expect. Not what I was expecting. Yeah, the Silver Mountain Water DNA. It's not that it's a bad DNA at all, but I think I tend to lean more towards like Sauvage Elixir, Absolute Aventus, but I also haven't worn those fragrances as often. I also really like Tuxedo, but nothing really in my collection that smells like Tuxedo. But redundancy, I do have a lot of Aventus redundant fragrances. No, obviously Aventus, Cologne, Absolute, and the original. But yeah, I've just been wearing a Silver Mountain Water type of DNA for so long, I guess, without realizing it, that it's pretty much just becoming my signature scent. Sure, I wear a few things, obviously you see my weekly rotation videos. If you watch my weekly rotation videos, you see that I wear different scents, but it's always a Creed or a Guerlain in my fragrance rotation. And if there's a Xerjoff, it's most likely one of these. But yeah, probably because of this scent DNA being the DNA I wear the most out of all my fragrances, I guess it's slowly becoming my signature scent now. So, well, I don't even know if I should start making videos on this table, because I could just, I don't know why I did move them out. I could have just put them all here. I just put them all here, just so you could see all the fragrances I talked about. These are my 5 most complimented recently. Imagination could have easily been on this list, but I talk about Imagination too much, and I probably put it in the last 2 videos. So just to give Imagination a break, these are the 3. These are the 5 fragrances I've gotten compliments on recently, and they're compliment machines pretty much. Like, that's not like it was just one. It's like 3, 4, and up. But again, I do work around a lot of people, so it's, take that with a grain of salt as well. If you don't work around a lot of people, you might not get as many compliments. You overspray, you might not get as many compliments. You underspray, some people might not really smell you at all. Maybe some, who knows? That is all I have for you guys today. Please let me know in the comments down below which are the most complimented fragrances in your collection recently. This is maybe within the last 2 months, maybe 3. Time goes by pretty quick. It's already May, and it's almost my birthday. My birthday is on the 20th of this month. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, guys.